All right, Dr. Bernstein. At its core, what is addiction and where does it actually stem from?
Addiction at its core is the seeking of relief. And what it means in that way is that when we're feeling disturbed in some way or uncomfortable, the natural human tendency is to seek relief. When we don't have other means of seeking relief that are like talking to somebody or calming down or just reflecting on what's been going on, but we want more immediate relief, we'll look to something that will give us that immediate relief. So it could be alcohol, or it could be drugs, or pornography, or shopping, or gambling, many different
Hmm.
forms of addiction. And what happens is that becomes a habit. So when the feeling uncomfortability starts to set in, you immediately know that you can get some relief from doing that habit, whatever it is. The difficult part of that, of course, is that that grows over time, and you need more of that, which is the relief, to settle the discomfort. And then you get into a big vicious cycle where even larger amounts, if that's appropriate phrase, don't actually do the trick, and you're basically wearing your system down. So where it stems from is a sense of a sense of discomfort, and I would say even better than that or deeper than that is a sense of disconnection. So disconnection from others, disconnection from um, any kind of connection to your spirit, or if you have a belief in God or higher power, and really ultimately disconnection from yourself, because you're not really going into the issue and dealing with it directly.
Got it. Okay, yeah, so it seems like it just comes down to you're seeking some sort of, I guess, feel good feeling, and you're trying to feel that relief. And a lot of that comes from not feeling connected with something else that gives you that inner meaning. And in that state, like you don't really know what to do. So I guess you move towards things that just give you a sense of pleasure, because that at least allows you to kind of operate in somewhat of an optimal way, even if it isn't necessarily the healthiest way, right?
Yeah, almost. I would
Hmm.
say that another way of looking at what you're talking about, Shaq, is that life is just
Hmm.
filled with challenges every single day.
Yeah.
All of us have challenges. It wouldn't be life if it weren't challenges. And we have, I would call them productive ways of dealing with challenges, and then we have unproductive ways of dealing with challenges. Challenges are actually designed in a certain way that we will feel uncomfortable. That's why it's a challenge. And in my work with people, I work with people so that they see challenge as actually an opportunity for growth instead of an escape, right?
Hmm.
So addiction goes down that road of I want some escape, and rather than I want to really deal with the challenge itself and what it's presenting to me by way of my growing. So I'll give you an example. I've been working with visionary founders, people who have a really great vision that could actually help a good deal of humanity, tend to be quite young, very motivated, very smart, and they have a lot of unproductive habits, everything from procrastination to serious addiction. And you can be addicted to procrastination, where they
Hmm.
just put things off. So they're actually getting in their own way. And when we can establish that, like, you have a dream, but you keep doing these things that are getting you in your own way, because when you feel uncomfortable, when a challenge arises, say you have to fire someone or you have to ask, someone for a lot of money, you feel uncomfortable, you take an
Yeah.
easy exit by way of an addiction that you have. And that doesn't solve the issue, and that doesn't move you forward. In fact, it actually keeps you stuck.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a really interesting, I guess, shift in your paradigm, right? Like viewing it as something that's a challenge versus something that's actually like you're trying to escape. Now, a quick question. Are there people that are naturally more susceptible to falling into patterns of great addiction? Or is it just something that, again, strictly comes down to feeling disconnect?
Well, it's a really good question. It's hard to, I would be hard pressed to make a generalization of that, because I think it goes back to how you were educated, how you were brought up. how you view challenge. I mean, I have the experience of working with people, say in India, who have very little by way of resources, by way of privilege, and then I have the corresponding experience in Silicon Valley, where people are extremely wealthy and they have
Mm,
all the comforts. And in one sense, in one way, uh, in either situation, they can be adapt themselves to challenge, or they can't be. So I don't think it's a generalization, something you can make a real generalization about who's susceptible. I don't think we're educated, and I say this with some authority. I've been teaching for 50 years in different places in the world. I don't think we educate people for living. I think we fill their heads with a lot of stuff actually that they don't ever use, and but not giving them the tools for living, for dealing with challenge, and for dealing with growth.
hmm Got it. Okay.